Hello everyone, welcome to the first Errorlog Q&A in celebration of hitting 5,000 subscribers. Today I'm going to be answering some questions and we'll see how that goes. Alright, so first question, what is my worst experience modding? So what project did I suffer the most on? That's a good question. So there's this mod I used to work on called Aftershocks of the Revisionism. Pretty bad. Essentially what would happen is the head dev would just love to consistently just rework things out of nowhere, even content you were working on. And the whole point of it, that mod still has not released. It's been in development since like 2019, because it's a bit weird. They decided to do a Redux before the original even released, because the original never released, because they kept reworking stuff, which is insane. And then the whole point of Redux was supposed to, we focus on stuff that will, release stuff quicker. But instead, the head dev has just kept reworking stuff non-stop. And it just got to the point where I was like, I don't want to work here anymore. Because I saw no future when the mod would release, essentially. There's no point working on a mod that you have no feeling that it's going to release. Because what's the point, right? And him reworking stuff constantly for the sake of lore and being accurate and this, that, whatever fantasy he wanted to fulfill, just sort of disappointed me a lot. So here's a question: why do I lean politically? That's a question I get asked a lot, and it's most likely due to some of the stuff I've talked about. But that's a question I don't want to answer, and the reason is I don't want to associate any layer of politics with myself with this channel, because it's a channel about Hoi4 modding and the community behind it, which yes will involve some politics occasionally, but I don't want to really attach myself to one sort of ideology that will cause labels and stuff. It's very important to keep politics out of areas that don't need to be politicized, which is my whole argument for the Great War Redux in my video, where I was talking about keeping your political opinion as a developer away from the mod and a community especially. There's no need to go around announcing who you support in this war, that war. You're a Hoi4 modding server, not a political outlet, and I'm a Hoi4 YouTube channel and not a political outlet. So another question, I mentioned once in the stream that you don't really play mods if not for the purpose of research. Is it to maintain a neutral opinion, or does that mean you are a vanilla enjoyer when you play Hoi? Very important, I know. Honestly, I quite prefer mods in Hoi, but the reason I don't play mods if not for the purpose of research anymore is because I don't have time to play Hoi4 that often. I used to be very obsessed with Hoi4, like playing wise. I used to be a very big Dankers fan. I used to optimize every single stat in the game, played long hours. But if I'm on Hoi, it's usually to mod, because I think I've talked about it, but I'm at the level of modding where you don't feel like playing anymore, you just feel like coding it. And when I do play nowadays, I did play TFR a couple times just to have fun, but if I am playing Hoi nowadays, it's on stream, because I need something for people to watch while I'm talking and interviewing people, and also because it's for research. Thank you. Alright, next question. What is the greatest mod of all time in my opinion? Kaiserredux. It's just unmatched. Long time, 20 years, really great dev team working. It's got its own freaking cinema, dude. Kaiserred cinema. Really good. Not a lot of outrage when stuff happens to it. No, not low drama. Low drama. They keep things really, really succinct, which is good. What makes a good world conquest path, especially for a technologically and so numerically inferior country? Alright, that's a good question actually. So, if you're making a world conquest path, first of all, it's gotta be hard. It shouldn't be easy to conquer the world. So you need to have lots of barriers, lots of hardships you have to endure, but you also need to make it achievable for a player. So you need to have a clear roadmap of how to do it. Right. So obviously you're obviously gonna have to give buffs, right? Especially for a technologically and numerically inferior country. But you're gonna have to give buffs after they say it's a challenge, right? But you're not facing off the entire world at once. You're leveling up each way as you go. So you should probably, right, after the first set of challenges, the player gets rewarded for succeeding, and they get a little bit of buff to keep them going, because you want to have players, wanting to play the whole way through. So that's what I would do for a good conquest path. Do I have any limits in regards to mods and the dramas/issues you'd be willing to expose yourself to and investigate inside them? Yeah, my limit is anything illegal I don't show on my YouTube, and that just goes straight to the police or Paradox, whatever, because yeah, it's illegal content and illegal stuff, which I have seen before while trying to... there's been a lot of videos like that you guys will never see that I've investigated for, and I've just run into like, insane stuff, and you just have to shut it down there and you take it to someone higher, because in the end I'm just a YouTuber and I can't really go into illegal stuff that well. Like, you have to just report it to a higher authority at that point. Favorite Russian warlord in TNO? That's a good question. You know what? Black League. The Great Trials are a really good run. I like Omsk also sometimes, but Black League is pretty damn good, So this question's more of an advertisement than a mod, feels like. What do you think about a Hoi 4 mod based on the Napoleonic Wars and Napoleonic Wars? There's been a bunch of those. I think it'd be cool, but you'd have to like capture the scale of the time period a lot. It's really hard to do that, especially in a Hoi 4 mod. Maybe Vicky would be better, but it depends. I think if done well, it can be promising, but based on previous iterations, there's precedent. Alright, this next question is, what do I think of Collapsing World Rise of Radicalism? I think it's a good mod. It's new. I remember when it released, I've known some of the devs, not very well, but in a good manner, and they seem quite spirited in their development. But I think it's a good mod. I've played it a couple times. It's very promising. It's good lore also. There's a good amount of solid content when it comes to the majors that they've added, and I might make it. I'm planning on doing a video on it. They've been asking me to make a video on them for a while now, and I quite like the mod. So excited to see how that goes. It's a good mod. I personally think it's a good mod. Alright. So the question is on banana bread. I love banana bread. Whenever my girlfriend makes any, I just love it. It's really damn good. It's like the they call it the man's equivalent to flowers. And it's pretty much it. I just love banana bread. It's really good food. What car do I drive? I drive a Mitsubishi. We have a fuel crisis in Australia right now, so it's a good thing it's a hybrid. So I don't have to pay any fuel costs right now, but still. Good car. It's quite new actually, just got it. What do I think of Red Flood? It's sort of dead. Like, it hasn't made any content for a while, and the dev team is very let's just say one of the developers has an interest in children. But aside from that, Red Flood was the first schizo mod I saw. It sort of revolutionized Hoi 4 modding in the sense that, the schizo sort of tone was very more publicly opened. And its peak is well past, and it's still a mod. It's not a great mod, and it's got a lot of issues overall, but it's still like on the right side of like when it comes to mod quality, ignoring developer struggles. Modding wise, the mod is sort of good. It's sort of dead though. That's the only issue, and I hope they don't. I've been hearing they've been reworking some stuff, but it's a complicated matter. But it is still like not a bad mod. But do you think TNO should go on longer, because it's so annoying having so little precedence as a US and tech goes 10 years after? So on that TNO one, there is a USA update I think coming out this year called the EP. So I think there's going to be more precedence on that. Should it be longer? So I know the dev team does want it to go to 80s, But me personally, I would say they shouldn't go longer, because realistically, do you think the dev team has the ability to maintain content for such a long period of time, 20 years-ish? Realistically, no. So I don't think TNO should go too long until they get their modding sort of structure set up properly, that they're able to maintain a 20-year span of a mod. Because that is a lot of content you have to maintain, code, make sure everything's okay. So it's just crazy amount. Look, I'm sure if TNO is extended, it should go longer, it would be a great mod. But honestly, in its current state, I think they should focus on what's already been in the game instead of trying to add some new stuff. Focus on fixing that stuff. Focus on fulfilling the content they promised. You know, how confident are you in the water and all leadership? I've heard some stuff. Yeah, there's been some stuff going on. I know 2 of the high-ranking devs left, Zaylor and Junker. Napoleonic era was booted, so he was the one who they merged with. But I think they're pretty much stable now. I feel a bit guilty. So essentially, when they first joined their server, it was about 250-ish members, maybe less. Can't remember. And then after my first video, they got a massive, just incredible flush into the server. And I think their community and dev team couldn't handle, because you had people from the Great Wall Redux defecting over en masse also, and it was just insane. And I feel like the central leadership sort of couldn't handle all of these newcomers just flooding into their team, and it took some time to adjust. Tetramin, the head dev, good friend of mine, he's doing alright. He's maintaining the mod, he's doing great. Now, they had a bit of a rocky start after the first video, but they've been going good now. I think there's solid progress. I'm very excited to see how it goes. I do hope it's better than the Great Wall Redux. Yeah, look, I know they had some stuff going on, but I do have trust in the leadership, especially in Tetra. So next question. I believe you are working on some mods, some of the Lawsaw Pact mods, but have you done any major work on any other mods? If so, what did they? And if not, what work have you done on the Lawsaw Pact ones like Talons and Twilight or Project Stress? Okay, so I do work on some Lawsaw Pact mods, like, you know, a lot. I'm a big player in those. I mod a lot for those, but none of them are released yet. It's at World War Zero, but I haven't worked on that one. For other mods, major work, yes, I am on the Millennium Dawn team. I don't do a lot of major work for them. I think I've done some lock, and I was looking into doing some other stuff, but I don't really have the time anymore. I've done some flavor events, but for the upcoming UK rework, I think, and that's been my workload on Millennium Dawn so far. But I haven't really had time to work on there much. I really should. They offered me a really good position there before I started Aerolog, because they were looking for coders, and I just DM'd the head dev, and I was like, oh, sure. So I probably should be working more on there, but I haven't really checked in there for a bit. But they're a good team. From what I'm seeing, they're really good, like when it comes to taking criticism, because they were in my stream chat the other day. You know, we were ranking Hoi 4 mods, and they went into the stream and started like responding to feedback about the mod immediately. It's like really good. And from what I'm seeing internally, they are actually trying to fix all the things that people have complaining. Because I know the merger wasn't the best event when it came to the mod, but they're really trying to iron out the stuff and sort of recover the mod back to its peak, which is promising. But they got some work to do. Another question. Hey Aerolog, before I ask my question, I just want to say thank you for your videos, and I really enjoy them. I'm happy that someone is finally researching and digging deep into the hole that is Hoi 4 mods. I really enjoy your content. I hope you keep up the good work. Okay, thank you. So my question is, why do you think mods like the Cold War, Iron Curtain, and TNO take years to release major updates, while mods like Kaiserredux, Red Dusk, and Unforeseen Consequences are always either sharing teasers that show actual content or update their mods consistently with high quality work? Why do you think this is? I still haven't finished watching a video interviewing Mango or about Kaiserredux, so I don't know if you have a specific opinion about this, but I just want to see what you think. My personal opinion is that mods like Kaiserredux churn out quality content due to high levels of organization and cohesion between team members, while mods like TNO and Seaweek do not. I do know Hoi 4 mods are free and these developers spend their own time to work on them, but they can still churn out quality content. Yeah, so I agree with you that 100%. So I actually did a little bit of advisory work for Seawick maybe three years ago, and you could just tell the process was slow. From what my understanding is, it's 100% team organization and cohesion. I'm in the works of an Equestria War video, and I've done Kaiserredux. Both of them release really good content. Why? Because they have really good social and team cohesion within, really good team organization, and it's why reworks will take a while, but they'll be pumped out at a good rate, at a high quality. So it obviously helps to have a big team, but having a big team is harder to organize, obviously, and that comes down to team cohesion overall, and it's a big reason why they're able to get stuff out. But TNO, it's a lot more decentralized, but to the point where there's a lack of communication between teams. The Antarctic team isn't checking on the Spanish team or whatever, and I feel like that's an issue, because in Kaiserredux and on Equestria War, there's a massive amount of team cohesion. People from other teams or regions would chat a lot, keep in touch. The heads of each teams are always consistently in contact, and there's a lot of, they work as one unit, whilst also keeping a semblance of decentralization within, which is a good move. For Seawick, I haven't been keeping up to date with them for maybe 2 years and 1 year now, so I wouldn't know if anything's changed, but from what I remember, it's a similar issue. Decentralized teams that don't really communicate a lot, and team cohesion's not the best. Am I a leftist? Since I saw your first video and you said that people that want realism in their Hoifel mod are revisionists. Thanks. So that is a question I get asked a lot, because when I created that, it's my personal definition, no one has to use it, but when I created the revisionist definition, I had no idea of the Stalinist, Maoist, whatever. I don't dig deep into leftist politics like that. Not my thing. But I had no idea about that. Me personally, I would if I could rename it, I'd rename it to reworkism, because the question here says realism. People who want realism, they're Hoifel mod are revisionists. That's not true. If in my Great War Redux video, I explained that realism and revisionism are not the same thing. Realism is, you want to put your setting grounded sort of fashion. Kaiserredux does this fine. Revisionism is it's sort of like when you have something good, but there's a tiny little flaw, and you think you can do it better. So you touch something that everyone loves and it's already great, and you just won't leave it alone. You just want to keep reworking things. It's sort of reworkism. It's reworking for the sake of reworking, just because you feel like it, not because the content's old or outdated or people don't like it. No, because you simply think you can do better, even though majority of people like it and it's always this obsession of you need to be correct. Now, often realism overlaps with this, because people think, oh, not realistic, we got to do better and rework it. But there's a bit of a difference there. And when I refer to revisionism, there's an episode of Young Sheldon, right? It's where Sheldon, his family, they get a tax return back, and they get a really good tax return. They only have to pay $4 in taxes that year to the IRS. But Sheldon says the IRS got it wrong. They shouldn't have to pay the $4. So instead of sucking up the $4, right, it's a tiny thing. It's a really good tax return. Sheldon decides to go call the IRS, and they get audited, just making the whole situation worse, because he just wanted to fix that little $4. So that's sort of my idea of revisionism. It's when you just you meddle with something because you're trying to be right. You're just obsessed with having to be right, and you're just making things worse. And it just ties into reworkism, which is what I want to change the definition, but I'm afraid revisionism has catched on within the Hoifel community, and I have no idea people actually use my personal definition now. So yeah, I can't change the definition now. If I started using reworkism, people would be like, no, you're changing it now. What's my favorite in-depth Hoifel mod that I don't work on? Oh, 100% Twilight Struggle. 100%. I'm so excited to see what the team has in store. So Indy stepped down recently, but Twilight Struggle is a Cold War mod set in the Kaiserredux universe. It's a German victory one, obviously, but it's a bit different. Japanese victory also in the east, and syndicalist victory in the Western Hemisphere. So it's a very interesting sort of premise. It's been in development 2 years, maybe 1 year. I can't remember the exact timeline, but it looks really promising. And I hope out of all the major Kaiserredux Cold War mods, you have Krasnacht, which has a new iteration that's come out because the other two are sort of dead, and you have Culture Creek, which I'm planning on doing a video on because nothing ever happens in that mod. Twilight Struggle looks the most promising, right? And I genuinely think I'm very excited for it. I've seen the dev builds. I hope it does do good. Worst experience when searching about a Hoi 4 mod. Ooh, there was a mod which I've scrapped for now. I'm planning on touching back on it in the future because I had to actually just stop researching it. But it was essentially, we were looking at a developer team, right, for a very schizo mod, and we found their Twitter post, one of the developers, and it was just him talking about child of material, and him having a fetish for underage minors, and it was very disturbing. And we got deeper into it, and we found that the dev team pretended to ban him by banning him from the public server, and then they kept him in their private dev server, so to give the illusion of banning. And then the deeper we went, we had to stop because my contact pulled out and said no, it's too traumatic to go through with this, so I just had to stop. And this is a big mod also, so I'm looking to see what I can do to find more evidence to prosecute a case against them, because it's genuinely a bit disturbing what they've done. It's a big mod also, so we'll have to see how that goes. But for now, it's on hold. I still have the evidence listed up. I still have the script. I had the script, the thumbnail, and the title ready. But it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate the Hoi 4 community, when you go deep a little bit, you just see horrible stuff, and it's a bit disgusting, honestly. But we carry on. It's not anything new to Hoi 4. Tino had some big scandals a couple years ago with Panzer and Pacifica with miners also, which was a bit shocking when I first saw it, because once you get to know the modding community, you sort of understand that bad actors are quite common, and actually it's rarer to see good actors than bad actors. And it's why you see big mods like Kaiserredux and Equestria War, which are very good public relations, but those are just the good examples, and they're the rare examples, unfortunately. What do I think of Kaiserredux and its large team of devs? Kaiserredux has a mod. It's quite good. There's a lot of power creep, lots of variety though. It's pretty alright. For its large team of devs, it's a bit controversial, obviously. They've had a lot of drama before. They're quite politically charged, but and I've heard some allegations against them, but I can't really say. I haven't investigated them, so for now, I have no direct opinion on them. For all I know, it's hearsay about what people are saying. But for the mod itself, it's good, but I wouldn't say as good as Kaiserredux, mainly because I know they're trying to present themselves as an alternative to Kaiserredux nowadays, but most people still see it as just the schizo Kaiserredux mod for people who want the wacky meme paths, and I know that wouldn't really go well for the mainstream Hoi 4 community, maybe. So it's a good mod, but it's not Kaiserredux level. That's my opinion, and an opinion that can be changed with more research, because I haven't researched into it that well yet. It's on my video list, but we'll just have to see. And another question: if I could add any path to TFR, just any country, what would it be about? As a proud Aussie, you're getting an Aussie path, and it is a path called Legacy of the Engadine Macca's, and it's a path revolving around Scott Morrison taking a shit in Macca's years ago, and it's just it's sort of like a meme path. He's trying to recover his legacy. The legacy of the Engadine Macca's. I think one of the TFR devs actually joked to me about it a couple years ago. Actually, last year. So I think I'll do that. Another question here: are there any mods outside Hoi 4 that I would like to make a video on? Not really. Don't really plan to leave Hoi for my channel. I have only ever been part of the Hoi 4 modding community, not of any other games, so I wouldn't be able to start anywhere. So yeah, unfortunately. Will I explore more older and smaller Hoi 4 mods, such as a very British Civil War or Make America Again? That's a good question. Eventually, you gotta start from big to small. So as I go down the line, we'll hit those sorts of mods eventually. I promise you guys. If the flow keeps going, eventually we'll make it down there. All right. This one is saying, what was my opinion on FeedbackGaming before the drama and what was it after? So before the drama, I low-key didn't know much about what the problem was with him. I thought he was just one of the old school creators that I used to sort of like. After the drama, I absolutely despise him now, and he deserves to reap what he sows, I suppose. Alright, so some of you decided to ask me through YouTube and not through the Google form. So here's one question. Why did you start this channel and what do you have planned for the future? So I started this channel just to post my first TNO video only. Completely just wanted to do just the TNO video. It was after one of the mods I was working on, I saw them rework the content I had spent the last 2 years doing. Just completely reworked it just for the sake of lore. And I sort of just got really upset because I see this horrendously in Hoi 4 mods where they just love to rework shit for no reason. And I was like, okay, what's the biggest example of this? Prime. I was like, okay, TNO is a big example. So I'm like, okay, let me just work on a script and do the TNO video. So I did the TNO video. I think first 2 days got 2k views. Like, okay, one time video, that's it, no more. And then it blew up. It really blew up. And I have thought, okay, next video is the Great War Redux then. And then we did the Great War Redux. It was originally only going to be another revisionism bad video. But then I looked at the echo chamber, that is the head dev, Dementia, and his craziness, and I was like, okay, this is story worthy. And me getting banned just for being error log, literally just being banned for being error log, was a little bit infuriating to say the least. So just added to the fire. So personally, I dislike Dementia very much. I think he's probably one of the most disgusting Hoi 4 modders I have ever seen. To the mod team itself, it's a bit more complicated, but we move on for that. And what do I have planned for the future? The future is, I suppose, we go down the list from big Hoi 4 mods more and more down until I reach Hoi 4 mods that are in development. That's the plan. That is the plan, because originally this was a very impromptu YouTube side hobby, I suppose. That turned into something bigger, and now I'm sort of just going with the flow, and I'm like, okay, we just keep moving from mod to mod. I will emphasize, when this channel dies, it dies. If I'm dropping views and there's not a lot of interest in it, I'll just stop there, because I'm only maintaining this because I'm only keeping going on this because it blew up, and I was like, I'm just going with the flow, and once the flow stops, unfortunately. So we'll see how long this continues on for, I think, because I'm not in this for the money. I'm in this for the passion and the fun. Still haven't earned any money, but hey. Alright, and a similar question. Do you like the content you are doing right now? I love the content I'm doing right now. I've always wanted to comment on Hoi 4 mods after being in the community for a while. There's a lot of stuff that people want to say in the community, but because of how policed the main community space is, I'm talking co-op, art server, modding den, Hoi 4 main server, you can't really air out your criticisms and your praises of mods without facing a lot of clashback, because there's a lot of stigma surrounding such a heavy prone area of modding, and you sort of had to go to other avenues. So I like what I do now. It's very interesting. Never wanted to do YouTube, as a sort of actual thing. Very interesting to see. It's been great to meet a lot of YouTubers. Once you get to know them, you sort of realize, unless you're like ISP, then most of them are just normal sort of chill dudes. But ISP is ISP, so no one beats him. But it's been great to know people, and really good to make content like the TFR video. Like I genuinely like researching and doing in-depth mods and writing essays and collaborating with the teams when I can. For the Kaiserredux ones, I had a full dev team where they literally just chucked a bunch of suggestions at me, and I just took everyone on board, because the dev teams that aren't really hostile to me, they deserve as much. They deserve to be heard. For the ones who are hostile, can't really approach them. I try my best, but it's sort of hard to do that, especially when you're banned from some areas. So we see. But even the servers where I'm banned and people dislike me, I'm still friends with some of the dev team, and they're quite open to me. It's more like they ban me because of just in case, But I digress. So I'm going off the script here. Yeah, overall I enjoy my content. I enjoy my channel, and once the flow runs out, I suppose.